Why start small when you can go big? One of the most controversial perceptions about achieving what we want in life is to think big and to live big. While there's nothing wrong with thinking big, when it comes to taking action and making progress, starting small is the key. In my opinion, if you want to build a habit or do something for the long term, you need to start small. Hi there, my name is Shawn, and today I'm going to share with you why do you want to start small. I'm going to share with you 5 important benefits you must know. Alright, let's dive in. Now, here's how starting small can give rise to a best-selling book. Have you ever heard about this book called How to Win Friends and Influence People? I bet you have, right? It was written by the best-selling author Dale Carnegie. Some of you may have even read about the book, okay? But the key is that this book was created because of the power of starting small. Dale Carnegie said that he actually prepared a talk, a very short talk, and he called it How to Win Friends and Influence People. But soon, it expanded into a lecture that consumed about 1 hour and 30 minutes. Okay, after Carnegie shared his talks for some time, he found that some of the attendees and the audience were interested to learn more, and they discussed some of the principles that emerged from the talks. So eventually, the short talk became a course, and then Carnegie started to develop the book because there was a need for the textbook for his course, right? So Carnegie started with a set of rules printed on a card no larger than a postcard. And then the next season, they printed on a larger card, and then a leaflet, and then a series of booklets, each one expanding in size and scope. And after 15 years of experimentation and research came the book. This is how Carnegie came up with the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. You see, it is a best-selling book, right? So this is how starting small can give rise to a huge success. If you look at all the big companies out there, companies like Apple, Google, Amazon, Disney, you will notice that they all started small. For even Coca-Cola, okay, it only sold 25 bottles in its first year of operation. So don't give up. And you have to understand that every master was once a beginner. Everything starts small, right? So here are the 5 benefits of starting small. First, starting small requires less time and energy. This is common sense. It is easier to take a small step than it is to take a big one, right? Let me give you an example. Let's say if you want to lose weight, you want to exercise, right? Do you start with hitting the gym 3 hours a day for 7 days a week? Or do you start with just an hour a day for 3 days a week? The first option may sound more powerful, but is it sustainable? Highly likely it is not. This is because when you start big, it takes a lot of your energy and time. And when the resistance is so high, your chances of giving up will be high as well. This is why if you want to make your habit stick, you must start small. The key is to make the action easy to carry out so that your resistance to doing the action is small. When something is easy to do, like brushing your teeth, you will never question yourself whether you should do it. You just do it. So this is why you want to start small. It saves you time and energy. Second, starting small prevents overwhelming and paralysis. As I mentioned above, when the resistance is small, it is easier to carry out the task, and this actually prevents you from feeling overwhelming and paralysis. Imagine that you want to write a 300 pages book. You are so pumped up with the idea because you believe your book can sell thousands of copies, alright, even millions. So, you set a target to finish the book in a week. Do you think this is achievable? Well, there is a possibility, right? But is the probability high? It just makes you feel overwhelmed. This is why a lot of people fail to reach their goals because they set a goal that is so big that they set themselves up to fail. Here's another common example. We all love the idea of earning an income from the comfort of our home, right? And so we try to start an internet business with the hope that we can make $1 million in a year. But many people fail to consider their own capabilities. They want to be a millionaire and they want it now. They fail to realize that it is a big task that requires a lot of planning and consistent hard work. And once they started their journey, only then they discover that it is not easy to become a millionaire. They feel overwhelmed and eventually they give up on the goal. When you don't believe that your goal is achievable and within your reach, you will never put in your maximum potential to reach it. Here's a great saying from Bill Gates. Most people overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate what they can do in 10 years. This is such a perfect illustration of the power of starting small. People want big achievement and they want it fast, and they end up overestimating their own ability. But when it comes to the long term, they underestimate the power of starting small and how much they can achieve. So this is why starting small is so important. Third, starting small grows your confidence and builds your momentum. Besides unclogging your brain to overcome paralysis, starting small also builds your momentum and confidence. Tony Robbins, one of my favorite success gurus, once said, people who succeed have momentum. The more they succeed, the more they want to succeed, and the more they find a way to succeed. Similarly, when someone is failing, the tendency is to get on a downward spiral that can even become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Can you see it clearly now? The more you succeed, the more you want to succeed. When you create small victories, you feel good. And when you feel good, you want to take more and more action, right? And when you take more action, you get even more results. This is why people say that success is a cycle. This is why starting small is important, because you want to create victories that will drive you to move forward and to create even more victories. It builds your momentum. Fourth, starting small lowers your stakes and gives you immediate feedback. Eric Rice, the author of Lean Startup, nails it. He shared the idea of minimum viable product, or MVP, where you come up with a product with just enough features to satisfy early customers and to provide feedback for future product development. When you start a business or a project, you have no idea if the business idea will work out, right? So you start with an MVP. You develop the product at a lower cost and test the product to the market quickly. You want to know if the idea will work. If the product fails, at least you don't have to spend millions on it, right? So an MVP, or in other words, starting small, can quickly give you the insight if something is working out or not. Just like the book How to Win Friends and Influence People that we mentioned early here, right? It started out as a short talk. The same goes for this book called 13 Things Mentally Strong People Don't Do. It was originally an article that was read by over 30 million people. And the same goes for another productivity books that I highly recommended. It's called What the Most Successful People Do Before Breakfast, written by Laura Vanderkam. It started out as an article, but the article was so well received that she was offered to write it into a book. Okay? And finally, starting small is the first step. Let's talk about the $1 trillion company for a while, Amazon. We all know that Amazon started off as an online bookstore, right? Today, Amazon sells basically everything from socks to coffee machines. Amazon is the everything store. But according to Brad Stone's book, The Everything Store, or Jeff Bezos' biography, Jeff Bezos did not design Amazon to be just an online bookstore. It was planned to be an everything store from the beginning. It was just that Bezos knew that he had to start small in order to grow. Thus, he decided to start selling books online. My friend, starting small is the first step. Starting small is how you get things done and move forward. Starting small is how you grow big and build momentum. And remember this, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. So, start small and grow. This is Shawn from StunningMotivation.com. If you are watching this right now, I would like to thank you for your time and effort. And if you like what you have just watched, make sure you follow me on Facebook or subscribe to my YouTube channel.